Hello, I'm John Cantley, and today we're in the city of Kobani on the Syrian-Turkish border. That is in fact Turkey right behind me, and we are here in the heart of the so-called PKK safe zone, which is now controlled entirely by the Islamic State. Now, for a month now, the soldiers of the Islamic State have been besieging this key Kurdish city, and despite continual American airstrikes, which so far have cost nearly $500 million in total, the Mujahideen have pushed deep into the heart of the city. They now control the eastern and southern sectors. Now, the Western media, and I can't see any of their journalists here in the city of Kobani, have been saying recently that the Islamic State are on the retreat. In the last 48 hours, hundreds of Islamic State militants have been reportedly killed in airstrikes, said the IB Times on the 16th of October. We know we've killed several hundred of them, said John Kirby, the Pentagon official. The Islamic State is retreating from the Syrian city of Kobani, said the BBC on October the 17th, while Patrick Coburn said in The Independent that despite suffering serious losses, the Islamic State was continuing its assault on the city. Now, this is all quite a turnaround from earlier in the month when US officials were saying, and I quote, the strategically unimportant city of Kobani was going to fall into Mujahideen hands in just a matter of time. It's going to be difficult with just air power to prevent the Islamic State from taking the town, said US National Security Advisor Tony Blinken on the 10th of October. Now, good old John Kerry doesn't seem to think the Mujahideen are retreating. He called Kobani a horrible example of the unwillingness of people to help those who are fighting the Islamic State. That's a dig at Kurd-hating Turkish President Erdogan. But the point is, from where I'm standing right now, I can see large swathes of the city. I can even see the Turkish flag behind me. And all I've seen here in the city of Kobani is Mujahideen. There are no YPG, PKK or Peshmerga in sight, just a large number of Islamic State Mujahideen, and they are definitely not on the run. Without any safe access, there are no journalists here in the city. So the media are getting their information from Kurdish commanders and White House press secretaries, neither of whom have the slightest intention of telling the truth of what's happening here on the ground. Now, airstrikes did prevent some groups of Mujahideen from using their tanks and heavy armor as they'd have liked. So they're entering the city and using light weapons instead, going house to house. Now, America is very keen for Kobani to become a symbol of victory of the coalition that is working together to defeat the Islamic State. But they know, and the Mujahideen also know, that even with all their air power and all the proxy troops on the ground, even this is not enough to defeat the Islamic State here in Kobani and elsewhere. Kobani is now being reinforced by Iraqi Kurds who are coming in through Turkey, while the Mujahideen are being resupplied by the hopeless United States Air Force, who parachuted 2 crates of weapons and ammunition straight into the outstretched arms of the Mujahideen. But the battle for Kobani is coming to an end. The Mujahideen are just mopping up now, street to street and building to building.